before we start today's masterclass, Why to How in Product Management, I'd like to give you all a brief about Pragmatic Leaders. We built Pragmatic Leaders as a bridge for mid career technology professionals to confidently change roles or careers. We are on a journey to link training to employment and build holistically better alternatives to colored alternatives in specialized technology business roles like product, growth, marketing, and more. We run pay after placement programs in product management for working professionals looking to transition or upskill that are completely online and case study based, taught by global industry leaders. Our unique approach has resulted in 79% placement success with an average 50% salary hike for our learners who are now building products for companies like PayPal, Paytm, Walmart Labs, Amazon, Carbago, LimeRoad, and more. You can check out our programs on our website www.pragmaticleaders.io. I'll be adding the link of the website in the chat section. Hello everyone. For fourth session of the masterclass, we have Lakshmi Harikumar, Marketing Director at More Engage. Lakshmi is a passionate marketer with over 14 plus years of experience whose true north is business growth. She has driven some exceptionally successful B2B marketing projects. And today she'll be sharing her insights on the topic product fundamentals for go to market. So over to you, Lakshmi.
Cool. Thank you, Priyanka. And my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And it's full screen, no?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. Cool. Thank you all so much for joining today. And I'm kind of an outlier in this group of people because there were three product managers speaking, and I am an ex-product marketing manager. But I just want to make sure I fit myself in before we start this session. So I've been in product marketing roles for close to 15 years right now, and in marketing leadership roles as well. So a deep understanding of the whole process of how a business builds its product and takes the product to market and scales it to revenue success and also customer success is where a lot of my work has been over the past 15 years. And I just wanted to share some amount of my insights with all of you, and happy to answer any questions as well afterwards. Cool. So with that, the topic of today's session is understanding go-to-market fundamentals, and I'm not going to get into a lot of theory about what a GTM strategy involves, etc. But I'm going to give you a picture of what exactly a GTM strategy looks like when you are front-ending a GTM plan, and what the team looks like, and what sort of skill sets actually brings you into that kind of a team. So if that's something of interest to you, happy to answer any questions along the way. Please keep adding those to the chat as well. So essentially, in most organizations, right, GTM teams look like this. We are in the process of launching new products, launching new features, while also fixing a lot of bugs, while fixing a lot of customer requests. And there is a lot of work that actually happens in parallel in any GTM team. And I think that's where the fun also comes, being part of such a team itself, right? But the bigger question that this community also needs to look at is what exactly is the role of a product marketer in a go-to-market function itself? If you are all active on the chat, why don't you just add what exactly do you think is the role of a product marketer in any organization? I mean, it could be B2C, it could be B2B, it could be a startup which is just launching its first product, scale, growth, adoption, usage, bringing a product to market. What else? To communicate about the product to get users, creating a buzz in the market before launch, communicating about the product to get users. Awesome. digital campaigns, bringing the USP of products to the users. Um, awesome. What do you mean by GTM? That's a fantastic question. So, product marketer reminds the team again and again that the user is God. Fantastic. I'll probably stop with that. Thank you so much for all the inputs there. Essentially, when you talk about product marketing, right, it's a very ambiguous function that most organizations try and figure out, and the definition of a product marketing manager within each organization is very different. Typically, these are the phrases that organizations use to positively use to describe a product marketing manager when they talk about, them being the driving force behind a product launch, being the mastermind behind messaging, planners of go-to-market plans, sales enablement, customer success enablement, go-to person for collateral, when they're looking for sales decks, and also everything that comes in between, right? But this image from Product Marketing Alliance kind of explains what a product marketer, where exactly they sit in the organization. They actually sit at the crux of what product managers do and what all the customer facing teams do, whether it's marketing or sales or customer success. All these and customers are at the periphery and the most important people that product marketing folks keep in touch with. So when you start talking about product marketing, right, there are a lot of things that we could talk about. But for today's session, we are going to be talking about go-to-market strategy as the topic itself, right? A very simple definition of go-to-market strategy is it's a step-by-step plan, which is basically created to successfully launch a product, take it to market, and the definition of success varies depending on the stage of the product itself, whether it's the initial adopters, the early adopters that we are looking for, or in a scaled organization, are we looking for revenue growth? So the definition of success differs, but the job of a product marketer is to enable taking a product to the market in itself. But if you look at a very complex, you look at go-to-market strategy itself, right? These are some of the 5 important things that GTM strategies actually have to look for. How is your product positioned in the market itself? The positioning, as you may define it in very simple terms, is actually the background or the context in which the product actually operates in. For example, if you are an email analytics software, right? The bigger context that you're operating in is marketing software. So starting off with that broad positioning, that broad canvas, right? Like if you think of GTM strategy as a painting, you're starting off with an empty canvas and you're thinking of, okay, this is the piece where, I can actually draw my picture in. And the value proposition is that unique promise that you're bringing to your target customers. So for which, right, the understanding of target customers becomes extremely important because you cannot be unique to everyone. Who exactly is your customer and what is that unique promise you're bringing in? And when you've identified, who you're talking to, what you need to talk to, and what you're going to take to them, right? How are you going to take to them becomes extremely important, which is where a broader team comes into play. How exactly is, the marketing team going to message this to potential customers? So that is where you get to start working with peripheral teams around marketing, sales, customer success, and different teams all together. So the unique promise that you take to your customers does not change, but how you talk about it keeps changing. A good example would be, when you're all alone sitting at home and watching Netflix, right? If you're given a bowl of salad and a bowl of popcorn, the obvious choice would probably be, you go ahead with the bowl of popcorn because, you're just free to binge and nobody is judging you there. But if you're in a very different situation where, say you go for a morning run with a set of fitness enthusiasts and you go for a breakfast with a group of those fitness enthusiasts, right? Then you're presented with the same choices. The choice you make there completely differs. So it's very important that your messaging is very contextual based on where people are looking at it, which is where a lot of campaign planning and everything comes into play. to do all the first three steps right, a very deep understanding of how your customer purchases. In a B2C environment, it may be very straightforward where the buyer is probably the user as well. But in a B2B context, it typically takes a buying committee to actually make a decision before they purchase a product. So how are each of their individual persona very different, and how are we going to solve for each of their functional needs, each of their emotional and aspirational needs, right? As an organization and as individual persona is going to be extremely different. And the last piece is around pricing, which becomes an extremely important pillar in your go to market strategy. And how much is the target customer willing to pay for your product? And what is that spectrum in which you're going to operate in? So these become an extremely important piece. So I did not specifically include competition into this because positioning takes into account competition, the whole landscape that the product is actually going to be operating in. So I'm going to leave you with these five topics because there's a lot of literature available on the internet. There are a lot of courses around each of these because each of these require extreme functional expertise when you get into it. Typically, when you get into a product marketing role, right, you know a bit of each of these, or you are a specialist in one or two of these, and you have an interest in expanding your knowledge base across the rest of the spectrum as well. So that's where you probably start with, and then you develop your skill set in the rest of the pillars as well. What I'm going to move into now, right, is three important skill sets that product marketers need to carry, so that there is a lot of those skill sets come in handy across these five pillars that we spoke about. So the first and the most important skill set is obviously starting with the customer first and keeping that constant communication channel with the customer. So pretty much all three of the product folks that spoke before me, right? They all spoke about how important is it to keep listening to customers, keep looking at what customers are saying, keep taking customer conversations into account, and all those, right? What's extremely important is for product marketing to actually be the custodians of this particular channel itself, and how they even before the product actually hits the market, how you establish that channel with the customer itself. So first, when I spoke about the market landscape itself, the whole definition of the category and how potential customers associate your product to that particular category becomes extremely important. If you think you are a very unique product and we want to position it that way, it's also very important that customers look at you that way. And is that an established category? And how are we getting into that category and then developing a niche for ourselves? That becomes extremely important. The second thing, which also becomes extremely important, is who are the members of your buying committee in a B2B scenario, the jobs that they are trying to get done, and how much are we able to align our values to what they are trying to get done in their jobs. Like, if you have to blatantly put it, what are their OKRs and what are they trying to achieve quarter on quarter, and how much are we able to add value through to that through our product. That's what we define as functional goals, right? What's extremely important is also to understand what are some of their aspirational goals. As marketers, as product folks, each of us have aspirations for us to become something. And as an organization, as a team, right, as a marketing team or as a product team, they'll have their own ideas around what they want to become. How are we kind of mapping the product that we are taking to market, and how are we mapping it to some of these emotional aspects that they are trying to solve for themselves? And that becomes a huge differentiator when you are in a very crowded category. Competition becomes that's table stakes to just understand clearly understand the process around what alternatives customers use, and it could be other behaviors and need not specifically be other products who are defined competitors in the space. For example, a lot of customers may be using spreadsheet to manage inflow of leads coming in. A marketing automation tool would be a very good fit for them and these could be first time buyers of marketing automation tools itself. So to clearly have that understanding around, what are customers using in your product's absence is extremely important. The whole purchase journey is important, and there are enough methodologies, enough canvases, like the value proposition canvas can be used, customer empathy maps can be used. Doing a deep customer interview, empathy interviews to map customer journey is also a very good process. Different organizations use different processes, but I think starting and keeping that constant communication channel with the customer is one of the most important jobs a product marketer has to do. The second thing is also, for a product marketer to think of themselves as a project manager who is managing like a broad business, right? Because individual teams that are working in a GTM function, for example, if you look at the inner circle within this particular image, we're talking about, the product managers, product marketers, the pricing or the revenue operations team, and the business operations team, which essentially, defines how the product, how are we going to operationalize the product itself, right? And I mean, if you look at beyond PM, there's going to be engineering, devs, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are coming into play. For a product marketer to have that understanding, that they are project managers who are able to define the core team that's in charge of creating, taking up core responsibilities and coming up with core deliverables, and also bringing in the extended teams as and when required, so that you're not missing out on any expertise, right? That's going to be extremely important, because what most marketers do is take up a lot of stuff on themselves, but it's also important to invite extended teams to be part of the whole process itself, and keeping those two-way communication, right? What you hear from customers needs to be fed back into the product management team, so that it gets fed into the roadmap, and it also gets fed into market facing teams, whether it's marketing, sales, customer success. It's important, that this awareness gets trickled down both sides, and that's the job of a product marketer. And the most important thing also in this whole process as being a project manager is how much is the team, the whole GTM team, able to test the entire business model before actually putting the whole product all out there. And this becomes extremely important in B2B, where you look at the imagery here, and there are a lot of teams involved, testing out processes, testing out the whole pricing aspect, the market viability, and the marketing channels. A lot of aspects come into play, and how much are we able to operationally test the entire business model is a very important aspect before we launch a huge product into the market. And the last piece, I think, which Ravi also spoke about, is the ability to straddle between strategy and execution. That becomes extremely important because one cannot wait for the other to become perfect. And that's a never ending process both ways, because when strategy keeps changing or just keeps getting better, execution cannot wait for the best strategy to happen, and then we launch the product in the market. How much are we able to continuously feed this to market facing teams? For example, as you refine your positioning, when you start off with, I am a marketing software, to I am an email analytics software, right? That strategic change has to reflect in your brand and marketing, has to reflect in how sales and business development happens, has to also work through customer success, and obviously through product development. And this constant straddling between strategy and execution is a skill that product marketers need to nail before they actually get into the role itself. So, as parting thoughts, right, I would probably just talk about, as a product marketer, it's very important for that person to keep, or the team itself, to keep a very close tab on the overall launch health itself. Whichever stage the product is in, are more right customers aware of the product? I mean, are we doing the right kind of marketing and branding initiatives so that the right customers are aware that this product exists? And are we using the right marketing channels to ensure discoverability and accessibility of this product itself? And do those right customers see this particular product as a compelling fit for their most pressing challenges, right? And that's extremely important because this defines how strong your positioning is and how strong your value proposition is versus competition. So competition intel is extremely important. And are they actually seeing good value for the price they pay for your product? I think this entire definition kind of sums up the role of a product marketer in the team itself. And I feel in most organizations, right, product marketing and product management works as a tag team, and there's a lot of shared responsibilities between these two teams. And how we define this and take this to market, right? Uh, that's what defines the success of any product in itself. So I'll probably stop there, and here is a summary of the three important points we spoke about today. And happy to take any questions and obviously connect with you offline if there are more questions as well.